Hey there and welcome. Have you ever hit send on a really important email and then had that sinking feeling, did I make a grammar mistake? Well, in the next 5 minutes, we're going to fix some of the most common errors that trip up even the most fluent speakers. Let's get right into it.
So, let's be real. Does a tiny mistake actually matter? You know you've got amazing ideas, but then one little error slips in and your confidence just dips. We've all been there. Today, we're going to arm you with some simple fixes to make sure you always sound as sharp and professional as you truly are.
All right, first up, prepositions. You know, those teeny tiny connecting words that cause some of the biggest headaches, but trust me, getting these right makes a massive difference in how fluent you sound.
Okay, this is a classic one. We always say someone is married to another person. Now, here's the thing. Married with isn't totally wrong, but it usually means you have kids, like he's married with 2 children. So when you're talking about your partner, the word is always to. Simple as that. Whenever you're talking about a skill, I mean anything, English, swimming, cooking, you name it, the correct preposition is always at. It shows you're skilled at that specific thing. So you're not good in English, you're good at English.
Oh, this is such a quick win for sounding more natural. The verb discuss literally means to talk about. So adding about is redundant. It's like saying the same thing twice. Just drop it. Clean, simple, we discussed politics. And here's another super easy one to lock into your brain. When you use the verb prefer to compare two things, it's always prefer one thing to another. Just remember that little rule. Prefer always goes with to, never with than. Okay, let's take these ideas into the office. In the professional world, little tweaks in your language can have a huge impact on how credible you seem in emails, reports, and especially in meetings. You know, just like that discuss about example, a lot of common business phrases have extra words we just don't need. Reply means to write back. Repeat means to say it again. And return means to give back. Dropping that extra word makes your writing so much cleaner and more direct. Another big key to sounding polished is getting a handle on uncountable nouns. These are just words for things you can't really count one by one, like water, right? Or in business, things like information or advice. The main thing to remember is you can't make them plural, which brings us to our next point. News is the perfect example here. I know it ends with an S, which is super confusing, but it's always treated as singular. You can have a piece of news, sure, but you can never have a news. And the exact same rule applies to this. In a business setting, when you're asking for feedback or ideas, input is uncountable. It seriously doesn't matter if you get ideas from one person or 10 people. It's always just input. Okay, this is a super common way for people to introduce themselves, but it's actually incorrect. A word like myself can't start a sentence as the subject. It has to reflect back on a subject that's already there, like I will do it myself. So for introductions, just stick to the simple, professional, and totally correct I am or my name is. On to section 3. Let's talk about verbs. Think of them as the engine of your sentences. If you get the agreement and tense right, your engine runs smoothly and your meaning is perfectly clear. This is a basic rule, but man, it's so easy to forget when you're speaking quickly. For the third person singular, so he, she, or it, the verb needs that S. Do becomes does, and don't becomes doesn't. Just drill it in. He doesn't, she doesn't, it doesn't. Here's a fantastic rule to remember. No double past tense. The word did is already in the past, so it does all the heavy lifting. The main verb that comes after it gets to relax and go back to its simple base form. So it's never did went, it's did go. Never did wrote, always did write. Just think about the logic here for a second. The phrase one of means you're picking one single thing out of a bigger group. So that group has to be plural. You're choosing one of your friends. This is one of those you just have to memorize. In English, the word police is always treated as a plural noun. It refers to a group of officers, right? So it always needs a plural verb. The police are coming. The police have arrived. The apostrophe that gives everyone so much grief. But the rule is actually super simple. If you can replace the word with it is in your sentence, then you absolutely need the apostrophe. It's a beautiful day means it is a beautiful day. If you're showing that something owns something, like the dog wagged its tail, then there's no apostrophe. All right,
For our last section, let's look at a few phrases that might be common in some parts of the world, like India, but could cause some confusion for a global audience. These small changes will help you sound clear and natural, no matter who you're talking to.
Oh my gosh, this is a critical one. In international English, to pass out means you faint or lose consciousness. It has absolutely nothing to do with finishing school. The word you're looking for is graduate. This is one fix that will definitely save you from some pretty awkward conversations.
Here's an easy way to simplify your speech. The English word cousin is gender neutral. It works for both men and women. So you don't need to add brother or sister. You can just say, he is my cousin, or she is my cousin, and it's perfectly clear.
And for our last one, another simple fix. The correct phrasal verb is just to cope with something. That little word up is a common addition, but it's not actually part of the standard phrase. Just drop the up and you've got it. You cope with stress. So let's do a super quick recap of your instant upgrade. Number 1, keep an eye on those tiny prepositions. They pack a punch. 2, keep your language sharp by cutting out any redundant words. And 3, always make sure your verbs match their subjects. Nailing just these 3 habits will make you sound so much clearer. Wow, we covered a lot of ground really fast. So I want you to think about it. Which of these fixes really stood out to you? What's the one small change you're going to commit to making starting with your very next email or conversation? Because that, right there, is how real improvement happens. One small, smart change at a time. Thanks for doing me.